Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Sif with Sif and Lobster here. Uh, I know it's been a minute since there's been a video on this channel, but I thought this might be a fun way to kind of get the ball rolling a little bit more again. Um, I'm gonna just like start talking. This is just gonna be a basic deck profile for Corruptor. This has been a pet deck of mine that I've been bringing to my Sorcery locals recently. It's something that I've been really enjoying as well, like massively, so much so that it's probably the most work I put into a deck. It's pretty basic when it comes to deck building. Honestly, not the most difficult avatar to build for, if I'm completely honest with you. But I thought I might as well share it, see if people like it. This is kind of like a budget list as well. Um, there are some things that are in here that are a little bit more pricey for people who are like kind of trying to ball on a budget, kind of like I do. Um, but I do think that this will be a really cool kind of thing just to do because I've always wanted to do a deck profile. And this is probably the first time I've ever gone to a locals and performed as well as I have been. So you know what? Why not? I'm just gonna kind of roll with the punches here. This is not scripted at all. I'm terrible with scripts. I'm terrible at talking in general. But I do know how to work my deck. So we're going to go through the main deck first. Then we're going to go through the sites. And once we get to what we need the collection for, we'll start going over that as well. Excuse me. I don't know why I just got the hiccups. I think it's because I'm so nervous. Okay, so if you guys didn't know, Corruptor is not that much not very well played right now. Understandably so. There's not a whole lot you can really do with it. It says your beasts and monsters. Your beasts are monsters, your mortals are undead, and your angels are demons. So there's only a few ways that you can really build this deck out. One of the main ways, I've seen a buddy of mine that frequents our locals. He tried to do a humans list and kind of just take advantage of all the stuff that shenanigans that undead are able to do. Really take advantage of that the undead king. I think that's it. I think that's the name of it. I'm pretty bad with names, so I do apologize if I just may take a second to go look it up because I'm just really bad with names. Wow, what a voice crack there. Um, but yeah, I do think that this is probably my favorite iteration of it, as I am playing a pet card on this. It's one of the main reasons I built it. And I'm on the path to try and bling it out, especially once it gets to like its final form when I eventually buy all the stuff I want for it. So let's get into the deck profile. You guys, if you're here, you probably know what Corruptor does. And yeah, let's get into it. So we're going to start with the ordinaries, go into exceptionals, go into elites, and then we're going to go into uniques. So starting off with the ordinaries. Let's start here. Put this face down not to spoil anything. So to start off, you run 3 Princess Wizards. I feel like this is pretty self-explanatory if you do play Sorcery, and especially if you play in the air. It's just a really good card draw card to use. Honestly, it's, I mean, 3 mana spellcaster. There's not a whole lot of spells in this deck that you're gonna want to be slinging, but it's good card draw. It's good to get that like last minute advantage, or even just to keep your advantage going to draw into the cards that you need. The next one is kind of like a situational, but also like I think it's well worth it, if I'm honest with you, for an ordinary. It's Lesser Blood Demon. Um, I kind of got a little bit of a side eyes when I started playing Lesser Blood Demon in this deck, or just decks in general. But in the situations that I do find myself at death's door and I draw into this, it's a fantastic low mana card with 3 power that if you're at death's door, you don't have to pay for with the lose life, because it's not dealing damage to yourself, you're just losing that life. So if you're at death's door, you basically get this tax-free. Now, if you do draw into it while you're still at a good health point, I do still think it's a good card. It's a great defender in my personal opinion. And I think it's something good to like keep on the backboard, or if you're already in the lead, it's really good for late game, just kind of like chugging along, getting that good chip damage in. I've personally found a lot of use in it. It's also just good for taking out bigger units or like kind of big units. You know, I do think that it is a nice, good early game threat to have on the board. Next is Vile Imp. Honestly, like if you're playing red as well, this goes hand in hand with Apprentice Wizard. If you're playing red, you're playing Vile Imp. It's 2 mana, it's a 2 mana 2 power, and in Genesis you may deal 2 damage to a target adjacent unit. Like I feel like this is just so good for what it is. Like you get a lot of value out of it. You get a pinger. You also get that you get 2 power. It's just really well priced and really well balanced, honestly. I think Vile Imp is an auto-include for most fire decks, especially if you are going to be getting that, I need to not flick my cards. Especially if you are going to be getting that ping damage, and even if you want to get that, like, something that's on your side of the board away from you, also a good response to that. Next is another one that I get kind of side eyes for, but I feel like it's very relevant, is Flare. It is a 4 mana, 2 threshold, 2 fire threshold creature or minion that only has 3 power, and on Genesis it deals 1 damage to each other nearby unit. So, like, that sounds like a bunch of negatives, but I have won games with Flare twice now. Simply because they were just pushed up on my board. I was far enough away that I didn't get affected by the flare's downsides. Now this, I do think that this, if you get this in an early hand, this is an instant mulligan. I'm not even gonna lie to you right now. And that does kind of suck, because like, you know, you don't typically want to keep cards in your deck that you're going to mulligan away. But I feel like that's with any card game. You're gonna have cards that are going to be very situational, but also just really really situational, and but just not really good for the early game. I will say Flare is one of those cards. It kind of sucks to draw into it pretty early on. Um, I mainly have 4 just because it's filler cards for things I want to fill in later. But for when it does come around, it does its work, and I honestly, there's a lot of times that it does come in clutch, especially against Necromancer players. You know, that 1 damage to each other unit really does come in handy, because, you know, you just do a full wipe of everything around it, even in directionals, and you wipe out that possibly like big, very massive minions heading towards your way. So I think Flare is a very good and situational kind of card. Moving on to magics. These are all the ordinary minions. The ordinary magics I'm running is Grapple Shot. I mean, another just really good magic card to have in air. Grapple Shot has always been a really good card for me. It's always come in clutch. It's also just put on a lot of pressure against the opponent, having to answer certain cards very quickly. So I think Grapple Shot is a great opportunist kind of card to have. Just a great card from beta that continues to just be great. Like, in my honest opinion, like I really can't imagine a moment that I pull Grapple Shot either early game or late game that I'm like, oh shit, I pulled Grapple Shot. Just a really good staple card. Lastly, in my ordinary magics is Minor Explosion. I only run 1 of this in my main board. I'm trying to go light on the magics in this, so you'll notice that there's a lack of it. But Minor Explosion is just a really good, like, single location removal spell. Like I said, if you're going against things or people with very heavy minions and they're 2 steps away or trying to close in on you, and you pull Minor Explosion out, you just instantly get that, like, right of way. Most of the time, I would say, especially in the early game, unless they've cheated out something with, like, really high power. But I would say that Minor Explosion is a great answer to a lot of things. While I am only running 1 in the deck, I do think that it will make more sense as to why later on. So that's all the ordinaries. We're going to pick these up and we're going to move them away, because I don't want to muck up the playmat too much. So I'm going to put that over here. Next, we are going to move on to the exceptionals. which there are a lot more of. I'll tell you that much. This deck is mostly exceptionals, and you'll see why. We're actually gonna put these a little bit lower. Yeah, we'll put them right back here. Okay, so exceptionals. Starting off, Two Sisters of Avalon. Again, just like just like a Princess Wizard, I feel like it's a really good way to get rid of cards that you don't really want in your hand right now. And it's a good way to immediately get cash back in regards to that kind of in that regard. Only running two of them, and the main reason for that is that you don't really want to see it that often. I do think that there's a lot of cards in this deck that you want to see pretty often. I'd say the only card that you really don't really want to see in the early game is Flare. But Sisters of Avalon, great card. Spellcaster, Genesis, discard a spell, draw a spell. I just think it's really good in general for what it is. And for 2 mana, incredibly good even with the discard payout. Avenging Angel. Surprisingly good. It's an exceptional I really didn't expect to really do as well as it does. But with such a minion heavy deck, you do see a lot of your allies starting to die pretty early on in the game, and you even start to see them die off even more later on in the game. So I would say that Avenging Angel is really good, especially when you're applying a lot of pressure and they're removing a lot of your minions. You are constantly getting this if an ally died on your turn, you get against charge and lethal, and I think that lethal part there is probably like the biggest part of this this card that like I think is really good. I mean, charge is already good. Charge is incredible. It is 4 mana for 3, but I do think that the payout of Airborne and getting charge and lethal if an ally died in this turn, or on my opponent's last turn, sorry, on your opponent's last turn, is incredibly good. It puts a lot of pressure on them. It makes them think a little bit harder about what they want to remove. And so it keeps your guys alive a little bit longer, and also just gets insane payout for when they do decide to remove something. If they're not on the board, at least. Yeah. Next, we will move to Corruptor Freak. Another demon. And you'll see why. You're going to start seeing why. This is a very much like a demons heavy deck. Like, this is very much focused on demons, and we'll get there. I promise we'll get there. Corruptor Freak says at the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to this site. It's a pinger. It's a great pinger in my personal opinion. It's a 3/3 for it's 3 mana, 1 threshold for 3 power, and it has the downside of, yes, you lose 2 at the end of deal 2 damage to the site. But honestly, like, you'll see why. I've honestly, you know what? I don't like going out of order or changing how I'm doing things, but I'll show you why right now. The reason why is Summoning Circle, or Summoning Sphere. Summoning Sphere is incredible, just in general. I think it's a very great card. There is a better counterpart to this in a unique, which is Eclipse, which benefits off of evil units in general, and you also get +1. But, you know, uniques being expensive and all, and especially Eclipse being expensive, I do think that Summoning Sphere is a good alternative. I'm running 2, mainly because putting 3 in, I saw it a little bit too often when I wasn't really getting that Corruptor Freak, or I wasn't really getting stuff that was really benefiting of being on the opponent's side. So I do think 2 is a good amount for Summoning Sphere. But man, there's been 3 games that I've been able to get the Summoning Sphere Corruptor Freak in starting hand, and being able to do that like ping damage, all like just pinging them down, as well as getting that 3 damage in really early on is just really powerful. And I do think, again, very situational, but even if you do play it on your side, taking that 2 damage ping is well worth its while when you're probably going to be getting it into the enemy's sights by the next turn. And then they're going to start doing that ping damage, and they're probably going to have to try and figure out some removal for this card. Corruptor Freak is incredible, in my personal opinion. I love this card. Next is Hillock Basilisk. A card that's not really played that often in Sorcery in general. Other minions of rest here or one step in front of Hillock Basilisk are disabled. So anything that tries to attack it directly or tries to step in front of it are immediately disabled. And I think that is so sick. It's like a worse root spider, basically. Well, not really, actually, though. It's basically just a root spider that's forced to be above ground in fire. So it's a 4 mana 3 power, just something that they immediately have to find a response to. More distraction, more just like trying to like force them to play more defensively rather than offensively. So I love Hillock Basilisk. I actually ran this in my Realm Eater deck that I played, which I could do a deck profile on. Honestly, I would love to show you guys that. It's very jank, but it's super fun to play. I had a blast playing it at least. I did not win a single game though. I will let you know that you are playing this purely for trolls. Either way, I found the true power of Hillock Basilisk in that deck that I built, and it was just extremely fun. And so I was like, you know what? I think that while I'm not getting a whole lot of benefit out of it, it definitely helps me like just kind of how do you say it? Like it just kind of helps, you know, like buy me time to build my board out a little bit more. And then we're moving on to Hot Wheels. Fuck. Hot Wheels, man. It what can I say about Hot Wheels? Phenomenal card. I like when I first started really getting into Sorcery and playing Death Speaker, Hot Wheels was one of my favorite cards to pull out because I was able to get that 2 damage off and start swinging into them pretty early on with that 2 damage. Once they removed it, I was able to Death Speak it out and deal that extra 2 damage again. And also, like, if there's things in front of you, especially if going against Necromancer, you're going to be getting that, like, continuous, just, like, straight line of removal. It's like having a heat ray, basically, but it's just 2 steps. Hot Wheels is great. It's just it's like heat ray on a stick. With a little bit higher of a price tag, which honestly I don't really think that is that bad, in my personal opinion. But man, love Hot Wheel. Another like really cool and favorite card from Gothic. Super cool. And then we're going to go to the next card, which is actually the reason why I wanted to build this deck, and it is Fallen Angel. Love this card. Me and my best friend Lobster, as you guys know, he got me into Sorcery, and we opened a box of Gothic together, and we saw Fallen Angel, and we immediately fell in love with this card. It is so cool. When I played this for the first time, I went 2-1, and well, I was talking to Lobster beforehand, and I was telling him like, man, I love Fallen Angel, man. I really want a foil of it. He was like, you know, if you go 2-1 tonight, which is honestly not really asking that much, if you go 2-1 tonight, you should buy the foil Fallen Angels. I was like, you know what? Hell yeah, I'll do that. And the first night that I played this deck, I went 2-1. And that was actually a night that we had like a lot of like new visitors coming into the shop to play Sorcery. And yeah, I absolutely smashed it. I had a ton of fun playing this deck, and it's really where I fell in love with it. Yeah, no, Fallen Angel is great, especially because the angels that are in this deck are getting that inherent like +1 buff. So just getting a lot of value out of Fallen Angel with that. And so you really have that, like, you know, you get the benefits with Flare, you get the benefits with Violence, so it goes up to 3. This goes up to 4. The Lesser Blood Demon goes up to a 4 for 2 power if you have Fallen Angel on the board. You know, so like that's mainly like why I play these, like, you know, you are getting that kind of like heavy payout or like the heavy tax to play these cards, yet Fallen Angel just really takes the cake on like really buffing up those characters. And, you know, it's really good, and is what I'm trying to say. Next we're moving on to Warhorse. Honestly, just a good 2 mana, 2 power charge. He can carry an ally, and you know, if I really need to, I can put my avatar on this trusty steed, and we can run away into the sunset. Yeah, just really good Warhorse. I do want to shout out Dean. He's one of the guys in our play group. he upgraded to the Arthurian Legends promo cards to this, and he was like, "Hey, do you want these foil war horses?" I was like, "Are you serious? These are like $5." He's like, "I don't need them." And I was like, "Okay, all right. If you are giving them to me, I will take them." I've learned better than to argue with my play group about giving me cards, as you will see. But yeah, 2 war horses, honestly, just a really good card to have in most red decks for easy charge and quick damage. Next, we are moving on to more utility-based stuff. So 3 toolbox. So this is where the collection comes in. If you guys don't know, you sacrifice it, you may cast an ordinary spell from your collection. I'll run a full 3. Most people run toolbox in their decks. If you're not, I do think that you're missing out on a lot of value when it comes to just a lot of utility. Because you can run any ordinary in your collection, and you can play it out after sacrificing toolbox for only 2 mana, and then you get to cast a ordinary spell, which we'll go through right now. So I'm just gonna hold them in my hand. I don't want to put them on top of here. Running 2 minor explosions. I do think that minor explosions a great thing to have in the back pocket, just so you know that it's there. It's an option, and you could do 2 steps away pretty easily. It's just a great like area wipe. Next is Zap. I only run of Zap. Everyone runs one of Zap if you're playing in air. It is a closer because it deals 1 damage to target unit. So you're able to target the avatar directly. So it makes that really, you're able to close out the game as soon as they hit death's door. Boom. If you have a toolbox in hand or already attached to your avatar, you're set to go. Yeah, Zap's just an insanely good card. Lightning Bolt, this is mainly just like a save case. I play 2 Lightning Bolts, just a safe case, just in case Zap does get removed out of my hand by Legions of Null, I think it's called. These cards are going to be coming up on screen if I mention them. But Lightning Bolt is mainly just like a replacement for Zap. I could be running 2 Zaps, but I would still be running at least a Lightning Bolt, because if they would still target both of my Zaps. Disenchant, I mean, it's just always a good removal. You never know when people are going to be coming in and taking advantage of auras. So Disenchant is always the way to go. Grapple Shot, just for that utility. If you need to get that like last hit in, you could Grapple Shot in, target the avatar and fight it for that last hit. Blink, honestly, just filler. I probably could find a better card to put this in, or put in with this, but I have Blink in, so oh well. That's my entire collection. I do think that running 3 toolbox is probably the best way to go about it. Toolbox is just an incredible literal toolbox of options for the deck. I think it's truly incredible. Moving on to the magics, we're playing Cast into Exile. Honestly, really good. Especially if you are stuck kind of like in your back corner, or like you got a lot of people or a lot of minions or whatever, or even especially some big stuff. You know, I've been able to cast into Exile like I Am Colossus, a Kraken, a Slagoth on my side of the field, and it's been very detrimental. There's one time that I had one cast into Exile in hand. There was a I Am Colossus running right at me. I was close to the door as well, and I was able to cast into Exile it, and I drew into a second cast into Exile, and I was able to get rid of a Kraken as well. So cast in Exile is just great for like big spot removal. They do have to be on your, it is target minion occupant and allied site, so it does need to be on your site. That is something that I misunderstood at the very beginning, but I do think casting into Exile is a great spot removal, and it's also the only way to get rid of Doom of Dilmun, which is a pretty big slapper. It's up on the screen right now if you guys want to see it. I hate playing against the card, but I love playing it, so good fun. We're also running to Desecrate. Desecrate's just a great card. An ally, even an evil ally, strikes its site, then may transform it into a desecrated ground. You usually don't really ever pick the second part of that, because Desecrate is basically just like a grapple shot for the site that you're standing upon. So you want to typically go after the buffed minions. Oh, which I also forgot to mention, and I'm sure I put it up on screen, but when I was talking about Fallen Angel, editor Nathan, if you didn't do that, you're an idiot. But Fallen Angel buffs itself because nearby allied demons have +1 power. It sees itself because it is now a demon. It is now an angel demon, so it buffs itself. So it's now a 4/4 for 4 power, or it's a 4. It's 4 mana for 4 power. Sorry, I talk in magic terms still, but it buffs itself, so it gets that +4 to itself. So it's just giving it even more value. So say you have a fallen angel out, it's on an enemy's a site, and you strike in for 4, you're able to hit it for 4. Or maybe you want to use fallen angel for a to kill something, or to like just kind of thin out their minions. You're able to strike, still do damage to the site that they're standing on, and then also strike in for killing a minion or whatever you want to do. It's very useful. I think this creates a great card. It's one of my personal favorites of Gothic as well. Great magic. I love it so much. It's so cool. Next is Accusation. Just a great discard, forced discard. Just so good. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't have much else to say. Accusation's a great card to use. A lot of the time, people are usually playing stuff that is inherently evil, so you typically get to have you usually get to have the choice of which card they get to discard, which is nice. In the situations that they don't have evil in their hands, they still have to reveal their hand to you, so you get that hand info, and they're forced to discard a card. So I think it's a pretty good trade-off in my opinion. Let's move on to the elites now. What do you guys think of this? I feel like I'm doing pretty good. You know, I feel like I'm doing pretty all right. I feel like I'm surprised on how much I haven't really gone off on oh my lord, what's going on with me? I haven't gone off on a tangent yet, which is good. You know, very unusual for Nate, for me, Mr. Sif. You know, it's usually because, you know, it's probably because Lobster isn't here. He usually derails my train of thought all the time, but he's not here. It's just me. It's just little me. But yeah, if you guys want to know more about what's going on with me and what's going on with Lobster, just wait until the end of the video, and I'll give a little like just rundown of what's been going on. Yeah. So starting off with the elites, we're gonna do 2 clairvoyant. We run a minion heavy deck, so our graveyard is going to be mostly minions. Clairvoyant's a great way to get value off of that. I don't really have graveyard recursion, so Clairvoyant really is going to help us get that like just general top of deck info, and you're able to put it to the bottom and hope to God that the next one is going to be better. But yeah, no, Clairvoyance is a really good card in my opinion. I think it's severely underrated, especially in minion heavy decks, to like just really take advantage of that top of deck info. Next is Grandmaster Wizard. The same with Apprentice Wizard. I feel like it's sacrilegious to not play Grandmaster Wizard in a air deck. Not really, but Grandmaster Wizard is 6 mana for drawing 3 cards on Genesis. He is a spellcaster. Again, not really playing a whole lot of magic, so that first bit doesn't really matter. We're really mainly focusing on that 3 spells. And if you're backed into a corner, you're at 6 mana, and you really need that card advantage, I think that's a good way to put it, or a good way to use him. He's also just a good chump blocker when it comes down to it as well. So, you know, again, backed into the corner, have that mana, you're able to play him, have him on top of your avatar, draw those 3 cards, and hopefully draw into something that's going to keep you moving. Next is 1 Lord of Fear. I do want to run 2 Lord of Fears because I feel like he just needs to be way more consistent than he is in my deck currently. Oh, did my camera just go out of focus? I really hope not. Oh, it totally did. Okay, hold on one sec, guys. Okay, we're back. Just had to quickly readjust some things. The only way to refocus my camera is to turn it off and on again. So, yeah. Lord of Fear. I really want to run 2 of them. I only have 1 of him currently. Though I do think that that's an upgrade that I'm going to have to do. It's unfocused again. I really think it doesn't like Lord of Fear. Sorry. 1 sec again. Okay. One more time. I want him to be more consistent. Lord of Fear is great. Enemies can't defend alone. That's just an incredible thing to have, honestly. Yeah, super, super good. Next is Doomsday Colts. I gotta shout out Lobster for this one. Something I did not even think to use because we honestly kind of forgot that it was a card to begin with in Gothic. Or is it? Yeah, in Gothic. This is a Gothic card. I was gonna say this might not be a Gothic card, but I wasn't too sure. There are still cards that me and Lobster still haven't seen from Gothic or beta. Like the last Wednesday that we got together and played, I pulled a card that I didn't even know existed called, here, I actually have it right here. Court Jester from beta. Like I didn't even know this card existed. Oh, okay, you're freaking out again. Okay, lovely. We're gonna pause again and fix this. Okay, not doing that again. But yeah, there's still a lot of cards. Either way, Doomsday Cold. You saw what it just you saw it on the screen just now. Again, I'm playing all evil minions in this deck, so I'm able to play it with the top deck revealed, and I can cast it. Play it, basically just cast it anytime I want to Doomsday Cold, which I think is just incredibly good. Just a really good card for this deck specifically. I do think that it is a very, very, very circumstantial card, but I do think that this is very worth its while in this deck specifically, since I am running all evil minions. Next is just 1 Cherubim. I do want another one of these, honestly. It is a little expensive for what it is, but I do think that it's pretty dang good. Actually, no, you know what? I did change the deck profile. You guys will see the deck list down below. Only 1 Cherubim. Really good card, though. An angel that is going to be buffed by Fallen Angel. And just incredibly good. I can tap it, shoot a projectile, deals 4. Just really good. Next is the Tombstone Wardens. An interesting inclusion to the deck, in my opinion. But I do think that it's pretty good just to have as a defender on your side of the field. Because, you know, it's all opponent's turn. So I do think that it's really good to have just as a permanent defender. It's 5 power, which is a tough... it's tough to remove, you know, honestly, in most occasions. But yeah, honestly, not too bad with Airborne as well. It's really good. Moving on to the magic that we have, it's only Betrayal. Betrayal's just really good. Like, let's be honest, Betrayal is just insanely good. For 5 mana, 3 threshold, you gain control of target enemy minion this turn and untap it. Like, insanely good. Infiltration is also really good. I do think it's better to like have it to just kind of like sack it off, or to like just get rid of whatever minion it may be. But Betrayal is also really good for that. You get a control of it that turn. You have the choice of doing that final kill with his own minion, or just swinging into something that immediately. I think it's a very good card. I like Betrayal a lot, and it's become it's worked out for me in a lot of scenarios. So I do think it's a mainstay. That is all of the elites in this deck. It's very few, admittedly. A lot more exceptionals in this deck than there are elites. And now we'll go to the part that you guys probably like the most, and that's the uniques. There's only a few in this deck. I think there's about what's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 5 uniques in this deck. So we'll just start off with the goofiest one. Here, that's Salt the Earth. Just something that I got from a good friend, Justin, from the shop. I don't know if he's ever gonna find this or watch this, but Justin, you're the fucking goat, man. You helped me build so many of these decks. He bought this for me to play in my Realm Eater deck, and now just coming from the heart, you know, just was like, you know what, I'll put a little bit of Justin in my deck today. and Plain Salt the Earth, and I think it's just fucking hilarious. I love this. I love this stupid card, and it's just really, it's just sight denial. It's really just aggressive sight denial, and I think it's really funny. Next is Pact with the Devil. I do think it's good for scenarios that you still have that Grandmaster Wizard or Apprentice Wizard out in the field, or even Sisters of Avalon out in the field, so you don't have to lose half your life rounding up to get that 3-card draw. You could just sack whatever minion. It is a win more card, and I do think that if you are in the scenario that there are no spellcasters out in the field and they can't cast it, it is a bit of like a tough thing. If you're on death's door and you draw this card, even better. Don't have to pay the half-life tax because it's lose. It's not deal damage, and you just get to draw those 5 cards for 4 mana. And I do think that's a big lifesaver there. There's been two separate times that I've had Pact of the Devil in my deck, or sorry, I drew it when I was on death's door, and it really helped me out, and it helped me close out the game. So really good. Grim Reaper. Honestly, I don't even know why I have this in my deck. I just think Grim Reaper is really cool. I pulled this from my beta box that me and Lobster split together. I love Grim Reaper. Super cool, unique card from beta that I just absolutely adore. If I ever do a deck profile on my animator deck, or what's it called? It's not animator. Editor Nathan, here's the thing. Yeah, no, just a good card. I mean, like, if you're playing against like a Grave Wolves deck, say goodbye. But yeah, I think it's just a good card to have. It's 2 mana, so I don't really think it's taking up too much space in this deck. Next is Black Mass, the single like most useful card in this deck. It's up on screen, so you'll be able to read it, but being able to drawing 3 separate ones and okay, yeah. So you sorry, I had to reread it myself because I only been able to play it once, but you basically reveal 7, or sorry, search your top 7, reveal 3, and then put the rest at the bottom. And that's just insanely good for this deck. Everything in this deck is evil, so it's very rare that this won't hit, and you won't at least get those 3. Expensive card though. I will say that this is definitely like a must-have. If there's one of these uniques that you should get, it's Black Mass. You know, if you can't afford it. Just such a good card, such a good way to like really help yourself out if you're really falling behind, or to just kind of really boost yourself forward. The last one is Death Dealer. Just a super good, really cheap card. It's about like $10 ish. And honestly, just incredible board wipe. You know, if it's just you on the board, or if like there's none of your minions on the board, I do think Death Dealer is well worth its while. And just insanely good. It's just it's a massive board wipe. I do think I just think it's really worth its while. So that is all the uniques, and that's the entire main deck done. We're about 40 minutes in. I apologize, but let's get through the sites really quickly. This is probably going to be the simplest one. A lot more simple than the than the main deck. So we run all the towers. Oh, spoiler. We're just going to go in the same order as well. Ordinaries, exceptionals, elites, uniques. Just make it simple. Of course, we run all the towers. All 3 of the towers, just get that extra mana. I do think it's very useful. I think it certainly helps a lot in those situations, especially early game. Even especially early game when you get these cards, it's just insanely good to have that extra mana to use to get out whatever you need. Maybe get an early Fallen Angel out, whatever. So I do think that always, if you are playing in air, play the towers, at least one of each. They're just insanely good. Also, again, shout out to Dean. He pulled a Gothic tower and he gave it to me because he has the promo Gothic towers. And he was like, I don't want it. Do you want it? This was when I was first like really starting to get into the game, and I was like, I can't say no. 4 vast deserts, 3 arid deserts. I mean, come on. I mean, it's just you always play the ping lands. Just always really good, solid, just chip damage, especially if you're going in for a kill on one of their minions that turns, or just wiping out a big spot, um, or a big location with a bunch of tokens on them. Just really good, honestly. I think that deserts are always good to have in a red deck, or something that includes fire, I should say. Moving on to exceptionals. 3 ruins. You know, just always run those dual lands if you can have it. Get them. They're relatively cheap, about $2 a piece. The first thing that I did when I finally started working a job that I could afford hobbies was get a full playset of each of the dual lands, because I'm not spending the money on fucking tri-lands. So the first thing I did was buy all dual lands, and it's helped me out massively. It helps you really get that threshold that you need. Moving on to just one mountain pass. It's just really useful, honestly. Like, just being able to kind of have that denial in one specific area. It's really nice to have in the starting hand, especially if you just want to have something camping on top of your avatar and stuff like that. So I do think that it's really good. As well, it's worth its while. It's come into use a lot of times in this deck, so it's hard to remove this card from my deck, as I do think that it is very useful for what it is. 3 beacons. I don't know what else to say, man. Beacon is insanely good. Especially in this very token heavy, or like a necromancer and heavy aggro. Just this last weekend, I was playing my Voidwalker deck, and I was getting the shit out of me. And they were all really close to me, and there's about 5 minions clumped up onto one site, and I was able to put down Beacon, and I was able to bring out Doom of Dilman on like turn 3 or 4. Like, honestly, beacons are always super useful no matter the deck that you're playing in. No, you're not going to get 5 mana every time. You're probably going to get an extra 1, maybe 2, but it's still good to have. I do think it's good to have that option, especially when you're in those kind of scenarios. Because who can say no to mana? And then to just kind of like pad out your oh my gosh, why am I blanking on this right now? I'm doing this in like 1 in the morning, so I do apologize. I'm a little loopy. You get to pad out your mana, or your, I want to say efficiency, that's not the word. I literally just said it. Whatever. You get to pad it out. It becomes really useful. Mountain Pass is just insanely good. I would say that's also just immediately like a really good thing to get, is a full playset of each of the dual or double sites, all air, mountain, and we're coming up on the mountain, which is Active Volcano. Active Volcano, just again, really good way to pad it. Going on to Poison Well. Just really good. I mean, you deal 1 extra damage to each nearby site that the enemy controls. Just insanely good. It's a great way to get that ping damage off. This is the one elite that I have. It's just Barrage. Usually I try and use it on anything that has like a Genesis trigger. So usually like the Poison Wells, the Beacons, not usually the Vast Deserts unless it's absolutely necessary, or one of the towers. Just a really good card to like have that re-trigger for those Genesis sites that either give you more mana, or give you that extra mana, or sorry, give you more mana or do that little bit of extra damage. Moving on to unique sites, starting off with Smokestacks of Knack. Just insanely good. I've had a lot of scenarios where this card just really saves me in the case of like specific like avatar moves here on the store shenanigans, or like creates a, a skeleton token at like every site that's placed near it, stuff like that. Just insanely good, honestly. Smokes X and Knack got this during our guy who works at the store and also runs our sorcery events. Also plays with us, Spencer. He I opened this up in our beta draft, and I was extremely pumped because I was originally pulling this for my Death Speaker deck, and then I pulled it, and I just use it in almost every single red deck because, I mean, who doesn't love a good silence card? Or well, yeah, disable. Next is Vesuvius. I do think this is a very situational card. I've never actually activated Vesuvius, but I do like having the option there. I do think that it's a good, like, last resort, just to get things away from you. But, you know, like, again, I haven't run into this scenario. A lot of people swear by it. And so I do think that it might just be good to have in the deck. You know, if the case happens to be there and I'm able to use it, I'm able to use it. So at least I have it. Last one is River Flame. Just insanely good. Especially if you're dealing with a root spider situation and you have minor explosion, or any kind of spell for that matter, you can kill root spider. And I think that's like the main reason why I run River Flame. So I can get rid of that fucking root spider. Or if in any case you run into a Hillock Basilisk, you know, you can just deal with that. So yeah, that is my entire deck profile. I do hope you guys enjoyed. For those who are just here for the deck profile, I would suggest you guys click off because you guys don't give a shit about my personal life. You don't give a shit about Lobster's personal life. Even though I'm not going to get into Lobster's personal life because, you know, I don't want to speak for him, because I'm doing this video just by myself. But yeah, for those who are just here with the deck profile, thanks for coming by. If you guys want to know a little bit more about myself and what's been going on with me, stick around. So recently I actually started like an actual job. I graduated college back in last year in June. So it's been about a year of me being officially out of college. About 6-ish months ago, I finally started like an actual big boy job. That was a Monday through Friday, you know, just doing actual job things. I also moved out of my apartment and I had to move back in with my dad because, you know, quality of life, just rent prices are shooting up. I was working a very bad job at the time and making it very difficult for me to just live my day to day. So I moved back in with my dad, making it difficult for me and Lobster to get together and record, as we just didn't have a space that we could just be completely alone and just record our videos. You know, I'm in my room right now doing this by myself, hence why I'm able to do this to begin with. And so, you know, it just got our lives just got really busy, and you know, I'm finally in a place that I finally feel like I'm able to be a little bit more creative. I'm a lot more passionate about the things that I play. I want to create again, and I feel like this is a good outlet to do so, even if it is just starting off with playing or showing you guys some cool deck profiles of the decks I've been playing at my locals for Sorcery, or other things that I may be playing. You know, I play Popper, I play Commander, I play some Gundam TCG here and there. You know, there's things that I play that I'm more than happy to show you guys, and if I can get Lobster in on it, maybe I can get him to show some of his stuff as well. But you know, just I miss doing this. I miss talking about cards. I miss being super passionate about something. So I thought, why not just turn back on the camera, see how it goes, and just see what's up. You know, I know there's very few of you that are on here. I know there's some of you that are very close friends of mine, and I appreciate you guys watching this video to begin with. Yeah, I've been Sif, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Share this around if you really feel like it. If you feel like somebody may want to play a corruptor deck or some sorts, and I could just this will give them the little lowdown on a fun little demon throw around deck. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have a great day. Take care.